Alright, welcome back again to another Borderlands 4 build video. We are finally moving over to HARLOWE, and I think this is by far the best build and the most broken build for HARLOWE when it comes to boss melting and overall mobbing as well. I've tried a few different things, moved a couple of things around. We're going to be using two different skill trees at the same time. That's going to be the green and the red. And it's going to be a little bit different to what you've seen to HARLOWE before, but let me tell you, this thing is absolutely busted as you see in the gameplay right now. So let's go ahead and jump in. Today's top comment is coming from Viazards. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. And he said his favorite weapon is the Hot Slugger. If you guys want to be in the next video, make sure to leave a comment down below. What is your favorite character right now? Alright, so let's start off with our skill tree and what we're going to be using and how it ties together with our gear. First off, we're going to be using the Chroma Accelerator as our action skill, probably her best skill. Next up, we're going to put 5 points into Field Ready Prototype for that extra skill damage. We want that as high as possible. 2 points into Cyclotron for that rate of fire for mobbing and bossing with the weapons that we are going to be using. Next up, the Augment, the first one is a Neutron Capture, followed up by 5 points into Elementary. We are going to be using a bunch of different elements, so getting that up is perfect. Next up is 3 points into Enriched. HARLOWE gains increased radiation damage. We are going to be using a lot of radiation in this build. Next, we're going to use Mechanical Brilliance. When HARLOWE damages an enemy with a skill, she gains increased skill damage. This effect stacks, so we're always going to have our skill up, and by doing that, we're going to get increased damage. And that damage stacks by a lot. You guys seen it? We just basically melt everything, so we want that as high as possible. Then next, 2 points into Rounding Up. When we are going to be using our action skill, we're going to also get that increased damage with our guns even higher. Poison Sun, HARLOWE gains increased radiation damage and irradiation damage. So like I said, we are going to be using a lot of radiation here, so we want that as high as possible. 5 points into there. Next up, 2 points into Fissile Launcher. When HARLOWE damages an irradiated enemy or an entangled enemy, shoots a radiation dart to another enemy. Yeah, so it's going to have a bunch of ricochet radiation damage here as well. So again, 2 points into that. Then 3 points into Chain Reactor, just for more radiation damage. Next up, 1 point into Wasted, and then this is the next augment we're going to be using, Demon Core, and then 1 point into Dirty Bomb. So you can get an idea of exactly how we're going to be playing this build here, a lot of radiation, and then when we move on to the green skill tree here, we want 5 points into Action at a Distance, 5 points into Neutron Decay, 3 points into Resonance Cascade, and then 2 points into Confirmative Reality. So basically how this kind of all mixes together is all of our effects is going to increase our gun damage and also our action skill cooldown and damage as well. So that is why we've basically kind of just stacked as much damage in our radiation as possible, and altogether more damage for our skill equals to more damage in our weapons. And that is our skill tree. Now let's go over to Specializations. Now for our Specializations, obviously we want to go ahead and run Riddle You This. Then we're going to go ahead with Now with Caffeine, I Am a Gun, and also a Honed One, just because why not get more damage? So next up, we're going to have a look at the weapons. Now you can switch some of these out depending on how you like to play, but I'll give you a few recommendations that I've been using, and they just work absolutely great in Vault Hunter 5. First off is Lucian's Flank. This is an assault rifle that is probably one of the best weapons when it comes to HARLOWE. Very high damage output, very fun to use, and just overall a great assault rifle. Next up is the Plasma Coil. Now this is a submachine gun, but it's really good, and one of the main things that I really like about it is actually it shoots radiation and also shoots shock, which is the two elements that we are going to be using. And a lot of enemies do have shields, and it has a very fast reload, so you can pretty much just get right back in there. And yeah, just very good weapon. Go ahead and try it if you've never tried this. Another great weapon is, if I can quickly just find it, Aegon's Dream is another great weapon to use as well, an assault rifle that has a very high damage output and a lot of ammo as well. So you can basically, if my game decides to not have a heart attack, pretty much just go ahead and just melt enemies. Very high rate of fire, very good. Obviously Hot Slugger, don't really need to talk about this, probably the one shotgun that everyone is using. Great weapon. And for boss DPS, obviously the Katagua's Revenge. Specifically, you want the one with Jacob's License Accessory, just because the ricochets are going to just cause a lot more damage, and this thing does have Incendiary and Shock, so you can pretty much destroy any boss in the entire game with one clip. It's absolutely busted. Probably gonna get a nerf on this weapon, I won't lie to you. So if you haven't used it yet, probably try it out with HARLOWE. It's basically her like best weapon. When you do shoot a weapon, when you shoot a bullet, these things kind of spawn and just destroy the boss. They just keep shooting at him, and they spawn in every single time that you shoot. Yeah, so go ahead and use that. Probably the best weapon when it comes to bossing. Our Repkit, I would probably use the triple bypass, just because amp, and just because 3 uses, you can't really go wrong with the triple bypass. It's probably the best Repkit. If not, there's a couple that probably can align with this as well, but it's definitely a great one. You can also use the shiny war paint as well, another great Repkit. But if you have the triple bypass, it's probably the best one just because you want to have more uses. And it's probably best for survivability as well. Next up is the crit knife, but you do not need to use this. You can pretty much use whatever you want. You can go ahead and try the relentless fuse if you've never tried this one before, or you can go ahead and use the waterfall if you've never tried this one before. You can have fun with your grenades, but crit knife, if you have it, why not? More damage. When it comes to class mods, I've been using the Field Scientist. I think it's probably the best class mod for her right now. I also did try out the Skeptic and also the Unshielded Reactor, but right now, I've been using the Scientist. Whenever HARLOWE shocks an enemy, she automatically entangles and irradiates them. That enemy, whenever HARLOWE entangles an enemy, electric arc shoots out from that enemy to other nearby enemies. So yeah, pretty good class mod. Go ahead and try that one out. Next up is our shield. Now, I'm using the Super Soldier, but there was also some other good ones like the What's for Dinner. That's actually a pretty decent one as well. But I'm using the Super Soldier just because survivability is going to be there. Bullets to spare is going to be there as well if you do have that firmware. So our special skill with this one is Power Play. When an energy shield fails, grants an overshield. When energy shield is full, grants 25% fire rate, 25% movement speed, and regens 1 ammo. So it's a pretty good one if you want to try out something like the What's for Dinner or any other shield like the Fireworks when you are mobbing. So yeah, definitely go ahead and go switch to that. Mobbing with Fireworks shield probably goes hand in hand perfectly. That's what you want to use for mobbing, and probably this one is pretty good for bossing. Now, what I'm using for my enhancements is the Quintain, the Volatile Quintain. There is a better one, but this is the best one that I found. I've got a bunch of them. So we have Piercer, Guns with Jacob's License Pass have a 20% chance to grant a critical hit. And also Bounce Pass is Guns with Jacob License Pass, increase the number of possible ricochets by 1. So that is actually why we are also going to be using the Sniper Rifle with Jacobs, also the Submachine Gun with Jacobs, and the Assault Rifle with Jacobs, and the Shotgun with Jacobs. Is we're all going to be Jacobed out for those ricochets and just basically melt every enemy and every boss. So this is how we're going to be using this build, to constantly have our gun damage up and also our skill tree up all the time. So obviously we're going to start off by using our skill, and from there we basically have just a stupid increase in damage, just like that. People are just going to get absolutely wrecked, and Fireworks is going to be doing us some good as well, and your Repkit here is going to increase that time limit to bring your skill tree back up and have that damage output constantly up and running. There we go. We can use it again here and then just basically melt absolutely everything in this game. I don't think you can pretty much just one-shot any boss. Well, not really one-shot every boss, but you could definitely pretty much just one-clip them. And yeah, there we go. Our skill tree is almost down. We can basically just put it back up. And there's not enough enemies here to kind of show you its full capability. But you can pretty much just see that everything's just melting pretty easy. And this is the mobbing setup we have right now, not even the boss melting setup. Yeah, so it's pretty damn good. There we go, the bosses are in. Let's see how quickly we can actually kill them. And they're all the way back there. There we go, we can just pop that. And then from here, we don't have the crit knife again, so it's fine. We don't really need it. There's the boss gone. There's one gone. We have our ultimate back up. There we go. This one's basically just gonna die instantly, and so is the other one, and that's it. All the boss is dead in like 2 seconds, really. And our ultimate's back up again, so we can go ahead and die. That's what we can go ahead and do, just die. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this build. That is the HARLOWE that I've been trying out. Let me know down in the comments if you do decide to try it out and how you think. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next build video.